Let us look a little bit at the orbit of the Earth in blue and Venus in green around the Sun in yellow. We'll make a note of the number of days, but let's start off with a situation where Venus lies between the Earth and the Sun. That is, Venus is at inferior conjunction. So when we start things, we can see Earth and Venus make their way around the Sun. Venus pulls ahead. It's moving slightly more quickly on a slightly smaller orbit. Venus is about halfway round by this point, making its way slightly further ahead of the Earth. And as the number of days passes 200, we can see that when we get up to around 224, 225 days, then Venus has made one orbit of the Sun. We call this length of time the sidereal period of Venus. It's about 225 days. So then, continuing, Venus starts on its second orbit. The Earth has completed about 3/4 of an orbit. Venus approaches the halfway point in its second orbit, and then we can see that once we get up to 365 days, the Earth has made one complete unit, a complete revolution of the Sun. We call this, of course, the sidereal period of the Earth, also known, of course, as the year. So the Earth has made one revolution. Venus has made something a little bit more than 1.5, and as we let things evolve again, you can see the number of days goes up beyond 365, up past 400. Venus comes in for its second orbit of the Sun, starts on its third, Earth on the second orbit at this point, 520 days. The Venus is catching up with the Earth, and when we get up to around 584 days, we see that Venus is now directly between the Earth and the Sun. And this is the first time that has happened in about 584 days. So we call this the Synodic period of Venus. The time that it takes Venus to move ahead of the Earth on its orbit and to catch up from behind. So at this point we see that the Earth has made a little bit more than 1.5 orbits. Venus has made a little bit more than 2.5 orbits. So this is the Synodic period of Venus, 583, almost 584 days, or we can regard this as 1.59 something, almost 1.6 years. Then let us keep them revolving around the Sun, maybe speed things up a little bit. So we can see that, yes, Venus is pulling ahead of the Earth. The Earth is onto its third orbit, Venus now onto its fifth orbit. And then eventually we see that Venus is catching up with the Earth once more. And then when we get up to about 1168 days, another synodic period of Venus has been gone through. The Earth has completed about 3.2 orbits of the Sun. Venus has completed about 5.2 orbits of the Sun. So we have the three periods involved: the sidereal period of each planet and the synodic period of Venus, which in this case this is somewhat longer than either period. After another 584 days, that is after a total of 1700 and something days, then a third synodic period would have gone through Venus and Earth would both be lined up over on this side. Now we can do a little bit of calculation here. I won't go into the details, but it turns out that the synodic period satisfies that 1 over S is equal to 1 over V minus 1 over E. So that's how we can calculate this 584 days based on the 225 and 365